Jah beloved. What are you up to?
Sitting here meditating and pondering on the ways of the world today. Thinking of my people Africa and the state of the continent today. How mothers fed their children today. As granny goes down on her knees every day and prays. How many souls are dying from causes that could be prevented? If we did have leaders who cared for us today. Oh, 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 oh. Zayana Yahweh. Zayana way. Zayana way. Africa rise, young. Every 4 years, the politicians say he's your servant today. After you vote for them, they metamorphose into your masters. I say, have your say, we'll have our way. Not no strange, it's cow demon crosses. Meanwhile, souls are dying from causes that could be prevented. If we did have leaders who cared for us today. Zayana Yahweh.
Away from your summer.
Zayana way.
Away from your sleep.
Zayana way.
Away from your slumber.
Africa rise.
We can be great. World turbulence among the politics. Never hypocrite, lava. Never ever quit, just a little bit longer. Victory is near, they're gonna disappear, go under. The leaders them no care, never tend to share. Babylon quit, the shedding of blood. Your heart a go suffer if you show no love. Stay away, righteousness. What the God the nation if for no righteousness? Just make sure the children live.
I pray for the future generation not to give up this fight. I pray for the children of tomorrow not to sell out their birthright. Cause when I look afar, I see the strangers eating up the food. Another form of slavery is coming here again. And that's why people are dying from causes that could be prevented. Oh yes, we do need some better leadership today. Oh, oh, oh. Zayana Yahweh. Zayana way. Let's go. Zayana way. Africa rise, young. Don't be moved. But as the day breaks, I see my people rising up again, shaking off all the shackles. I see my people shaking off those chains. The lion with the mane, blood of the slain will never be in vain.
Never.
No. We don't want to see no more people dying from causes
No more
that
unwanted
could be prevented.
No more
Richard better leadership today.
I pray.
Zayana Yahweh.
Away from your summer.
Radio culture, right?
Yes, indeed. 1212 Radio Culture. Welcome to the weekend live stream. Let's get straight to it. My name is Kese Baako. I'm reaching you from Studio 1, USA. I'm ably backed by my team in Studio 2, Kumasi, Ghana. And we're bringing it to you right now. I have the total honor to be comparing this one this morning. It's June 1st, 2025. My attention has been drawn to publicity that went out with the wrong date on it. We do sincerely apologize, and we want to state clearly that it's not May 18th, it is June 1st. Yes, indeed. And as advertised this morning, we have 3 interviews coming your way. First interview is with natural resources and energy expert Richard Elimah. Richard is no stranger to this platform at all, but we are honored to have him back on the show this morning discussing Ghana's dwindling oil fortunes. Are our oil fortunes really dwindling? This and other questions I have for my guest this morning. His name is Richard Elimah, and as usual, as I said, he is no stranger at all, as you all know. In the second interview, we'll be speaking with the Honorable Fiifi Baako. Fiifi Baako is the spokesperson for the Tutu Kese Festival of Assin Foso. Very interesting story there. Stick and stay glued for a very interesting story with that one. For over 30 years, over 30 solid years, this festival has not been celebrated. Why? get to find out why on the show today as we speak with the Honorable Fiifi Baako, as we speak about the Tutu Kese Festival of Assin Foso. And in the third interview, we'll bring you Ras Aswad in Krabea. Ras Aswad is an activist. You can almost call him a professional protester if you want. But yes, Ras Aswad is coming to talk to us about protest culture and the impact of protest on political policy around the world. Ras Aswad was part of the conveners for the just ended protest Walk with Traore that was held in Accra. We will be speaking a little bit about that, and we'll extend the discussion to speak about protest culture in general. Stick and stay for that one as well. This is iCulture TV Radio Culture.
Radio Culture.
Free mattress, free
Radio Culture. Transmitting online. Radio Culture.
Before all of that, I bring you the editorial. Are you ready for this? Thank you very much. My name is Kese Baako, and here is the editorial. For today's consideration, lawmakers or lawbreakers? Lawmakers or lawbreakers? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the members of parliament that rallied to protest in aid or in favor of embattled regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Ntwibo, also known as Chairman Wontumi. I want to just, and again, it's a free country. Protest is free. They're free to do what they did. It's fine on that level. But what is the intended purpose? I bumped into a video where a really young guy, very young guy, about, I don't think it's more than 22, maybe 23. But the question he asked left me gaping. He said, is Chairman Wontumi the first person to have committed or to have been invited for anything at all in the country, right? And then he posed the question, how about those who stood in line for hours on end, those who fought, those who went on social media insulting other people's fathers, all of that, did all of that. And then they were caught stealing a finger of plantain with Afenyo Markin and Patricia PJ and Titus Glover and the whole rest of them go protesting for this person. No, sir, they will tell you that the law has caught up with you. So that brings me to this thing now. And Afenyo Markins is a very, Afenyo Markin, I think the name is not Markins, Markin, right? But Afenyo Markin is a very classical example of who I'm talking about right now. There's a certain group of people who think that they are special, that certain things should not apply to them. And I'm singling out Afenyo Markin because he has actually come out to say that. He has come out to say that they should have a special hospital for politicians or parliamentarians or some nonsense like that. He has come out to say that special rules should be made for parliamentarians. Oh, we should preserve the political class. Political class, my beautiful black backside. Because A+ is now part of that political class. And just 2 years ago, he wasn't. So what are you saying? These people are saying that there should be a certain class where you fight for to get there. And once you get there, everything is hunky-dory. Nothing touches you. You have your own hospital. You have your own laws. You have your own rules. And that is why they would rally to the aid of Chairman Wontumi, who I believe, if these people were smart enough, and I believe they are, because these are parliamentarians, these are lawmakers, they would have found out why is he being invited in the first place before you rally to whatever type of defense you want to put up for him. But oh yeah, he's the chairman of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region. So fair enough. Oh fine. Oh, let's go make noise. What about the person who voted, who stole a finger of plantain? Did you go protest for him? He doesn't matter, right? He's the one that the law is made for. But you make the laws. So when the law catches up with you, it's not the law anymore. That's the kind of nonsense we are dealing with all this nonsense protesting going on. And unfortunately, we have some of our brothers and sisters who are caught up in that whole thing, putting all types of slants to it. I heard some nonsense story about somebody saying, oh yeah, Santininti Yenja. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of nonsense is this? This tells you that some Ashanti people, I'm sad to say, think that they are special. They're different. When the law catches up with them, oh, yeah, nana no beba beka. Obi be fro bi no bia beka. Or sophobia beba beka or something. What kind of nation are we building? With the same people who are always crying, let's nip corruption in the bud, nip corruption in the bud, nip corruption in the bud. And when corruption is identified and is being nipped in the bud, then we find some people led by people with parochial interests like Afenyo Markin and Patricia Prieje and what's his name? Titus Glover, showing up to say, oh, no, what? People, are you saying that when somebody commits a crime, he should not be dealt with? NPP, you were here when a member of parliament was charged with cocaine trafficking in the United States, ACA. So it means the member of political class, they can actually commit crimes. And when they commit crimes, the law has to deal with them. It's as simple as that. So stop wasting our time with all these nonsense protests. They go nowhere. The guy has been invited. Let him go and, as we would say, remove his mouth. Let him go through the process. If he's found not guilty, let him walk and go free. If he turns around and sues you because he was whatever, then so be it. But until then, let the law take its course. Let the law take its course. And let's talk about this subliminal nonsense about when it's Mahama or when it's some other person in government, the laws have to be skewed or whatever, or the laws have to be a certain way. And then when it's somebody else, the laws have to be a certain other way. Chachuchi Kata was jailed under President Kufuor. He was passed through the process and jailed. However, the process got him in jail is another story altogether. But that happened, didn't it? Right? Salome, wasn't he jailed under Kufuor? And then under Akufo-Addo? Didn't President Mahama himself have to go answer questions? So who the heck is Chairman Wontumi for people to be like, oh, what not? The law is the law. Let the law do its work. My name is Kese Baako. When I come in peace, I come not to please. When we come back, our first interview with Richard Elimah, energy and natural resources expert. Stay tuned.
Mark. Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
Ghana's best kept culinary secret.
Radio culture, radio culture, radio culture, radio culture, radio culture.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the show. We seem to be having Richard Elimah. We have issues with connectivity. I don't get it. Richard, mountains in Fiifi Baako. If we don't get him on camera, we'll bring him to you on audio. But we're still trying to work on it and bring him as soon as possible. Until then, please stay with us. And if you have noticed, our new flyer had a new face on it. She's coming with some female energy on the show. From now, you'll be seeing a new face on the show, co-hosting from Studio 2 in Kumasi, Ghana. And as we wait for Richard Elimah, our first guest of the day, let me introduce my co-host, and she will, as I stated, be co-hosting from Studio 2 in Ghana. So if you're ready, let's connect straight away. Let's go to Ghana and bring on Miss Cindy Brown. What's going on? What's up with the camera? Oh, yeah, there she is. Hi. Miss Cindy, how are you? Hello. Cindy, are you able to hear me? Hello.
Hi.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I'm very fine, Mr. Baako.
Good. There seems to be
Please, how are you too?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm doing good. So yes.
Hello. Please, can you?
Yeah, just I can hear you. Let's reconnect. I think there's a delay. I'm gonna connect back with you. So stay in there. All right, there she is. Can you hear me? Hello, Cindy. Can you hear me? Hello.
All right, we'll be right back with you. Let's get some things fixed on the tech side. We'll be right back.
Blood of the slain will never be in vain.
Never.
No. We don't want to see no more people dying. Zayana Yahweh. Whoa. Zayana Yahweh. Whoa. Zayana Way. Whoa, Zayana Yahweh. Yo, listen, man. My name is Ja, beloved. You can call me Fiifi Baako when the occasion calls for it. You are watching iCulture TV. Keep it locked. iCulture TV. Africa. From African perspective.
Making healthy food choices are a daily challenge for most people. You see, the food you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. Introducing the Green Health Pharmacy and Functional Medicine Clinic that gets to the root cause of your disease. We present to you the True Green Foods brand that allows you to enjoy healthy food options without sacrificing the foods you love. True Green Foods have low-carb swallow options for fufu, banku, tuozafi, eba, kenke, amala, and semovita. Good tasting and supremely delicious without compromising blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, weight management goals, and all diseases that one may be battling with. They also have a low-carb replacement for oatmeal, grits, and cream of wheat, which are highly dense in carbohydrates. Check out Alta Oats, Beta Oats, Clean Oats, as well as Kajma Porridge and Cream of Laka when you visit our shop. The breakfast options are not just delicious, but meet the standards of an anti-inflammatory diet. All True Green Foods are all diabetic friendly. Find Green Health Pharmacy in Woodbridge, Virginia, or call us on 703-670-3640. WhatsApp 571-300-5039. Find us on IG at Green Health Farm. There's no better way for a healthy lifestyle. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Welcome to Tucson Hotel, your ultimate home away from home. Located in the serene town of Ejisu Echakrum, just off the Jabin Road, we offer you a haven of comfort and luxury. Step into our fully air-conditioned 40 bedrooms, where modern elegance meets convenience. Whether you choose our normal, standard, deluxe standard, or executive rooms, each one is equipped with Wi-Fi and DSTV, ensuring that you stay connected and entertained throughout your stay. Indulge your taste buds at our exquisite bar and restaurant, where our skilled chefs prepare a wide range of culinary delight to satisfy every palate. From local delicacies to international favorites, we have something for everyone. Planning a business meeting or a special event? Look no further than our state-of-the-art conference hall. With a capacity to accommodate 80 to 100 people. It is the perfect venue for your corporate gatherings or social celebrations. But that's not all. We proudly boast the largest recreational center in the Ejisu municipality. With a capacity to accommodate up to 2,000 people, it is the ideal location for concerts, weddings, and other grand events. It comes with 4 fully air-conditioned bedrooms and a kitchen as one package. Our luxury cars are also available for rent. Drive like a boss. To experience true hospitality and unmatched comfort, contact us today. Our friendly staff is ready to assist you. You can reach us at 0244-654-458, 0246-505-327, or 0241-418645. You can also email us at info@tucsonhotel@gmail.com. Tucson Hotel, your home away from home.
All right. And just like that, we're back. I believe this time there we can get Cindy to connect without any glitches. Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Okay, Mr. Baako, I'm very fine. And you,
Nice.
please?
I'm very fine too. Thank you very much. We wanted to introduce you formally, as I've already started doing, to our audience. But before that, we have Mr. Elimah, Richard Elimah, who is an energy and natural resources expert, who is a guest for our first interview. I would like you to stay on for that interview, okay? If any questions come up, please feel free to ask Mr. Elimah, all right? We're reaching him by phone anyway because we're having issues connecting to him on camera at the moment. So let's bring on Mr. Richard Elimah, energy and natural resources expert. Mr. Elimah, thank you very much for joining us here on iCulture TV, Radio Culture. Hello, Mr. Elimah. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Elimah, how are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us on iCulture TV, Radio Culture. Me pachopa and na can say what TV so I know because there's this video that I wanted you to watch. You know, there's this video that I wanted you to watch, and some of our questions will be based on that. But I believe, sir, you will know the video already because those are comments that you made. So even without watching the video, no, you can respond to them, the questions. But let's play the video for our audience first, and then we'll be right back to speak with you further, sir. Please stay on.
19
that's fine.
The Fango production of course the highest in our history. 72 million barrels no. Ebano free 2019 ebanina no. Na esote 2020 esote 2021 esote 2022 esote 2023 esote na 2024 so no esote. The 2024 figure no 48 million barrels. From 72 million barrels to 48 million barrels. And no chira say bibi nkoyi a o se hwe ne yeka. Na de ama na yehu ne say aban sika nyina free fango mu nyina ejina production level no so. So production kosoro a aban so sika sem ekonanim. Production no esote a aban sika sem no so no esote. Na se wo hwe sisie oman Ghana ye sika sem se ne esi akoye no sisia no ye hwere sika efri ye fango to no ma ha dwen kakra eno ntina piak ye recommendation say aban to anamo na nka yempe investors fufuro bi no momra Ghana ye fango to adwumadi no mu na nka omo so emetu fango ni bi omo ba no mbetu a e production be kosoro ekosoro a esika sem no so no betumi akosoro na aboa oman ni nyina utu fango bi a gas ka ho utufangu bi a gas ka ho na gas ni bi ho a eba e wo se wo san de ekohye well no ai free mu bae no na boa ma epia oil no na fangu no ama na aba e bi nso so ha oil gas ni bi jaframa ni bi ho nso so ha omo de ko fps no so ekodi dwuma nti de ebeka na omo fanye hwe no na omo hu ep4 na ese omo ahye no ne yeka se omo ayete se Ghana se bio ehia ye no. We can't afford to say Jaframa eba no de bia ye be hye no o se etumi de didwuma na ye betumi de edwuma o se etumi ehwe kwan a ye be fa so process gas no sisi ano atoabo gas plant no na ho odin ni so entumi process gas ni nyina ti ye be hia a second gas plant a betumi process sa gas ni nyina na e de ama industry na nso so no aboa.
Sorry about that. Okay, Mr. Elimah, as I said, where your comments are one question I'll make it. I don't think so we need to work too much on that. But Mami Bisa, first of all, Ghana, what I got from the initial was saying is your resources no dwindle na oil no san.
Yo midasi. The attempt say oil bia ubinya bia no ewo ne lifespan. Oil well bia on a lifespan up to about 25 years. In the Jubilee field now you discover no 2007 no. Yeah, really from December 2010 until now. Tiamfana say December we need the 15 years. Let's just say plus or minus. So I can't about 10 years. Now Jubilee Field no, yeah, it didn't to marry. You can say the lifespan is 25 years. We are talking about commercial viability. Commercial viability. 25 years, you can buy bit mean your work. I will be and so no any commercially viable to drill. And broadly, no, so you can say a resource need dwindle. That is not exactly the case. The idea is additional fields and account. So far, your 3 fields. Your Jubilee, your SGN, Sankofa Jinyame. And I saw 10, and I also said Keneboa and Yara Tome. These are the 3 fields I want at the moment. But say, per se, your oil production or see it to me become. Yeah, more exploration, you to me discover more well. And no, the bit me abuama production also so no it me apejade.
I see. Because I'm to answer one of the questions that I had further down the line, crowded. Because I was like, you also made a comment, say, I was say, buying, invite more investors. No more invest, no be to become a production economy. Let's just say, oil need to be but yeah, capacity to get it now and to drill it now, and no only issue nana.
Exactly. Potential no seismic data we na say Ghana mia be na oil potential no. Akase ibenya companies on be exploration. No more hitting the exact places now oil no one. Na yenya quantity so be more commercially viable. And no near their aka. In terms of potential there the no because Western Corridor there no ama siagane ni bia nim say ukọ Western Corridor na towards Ivory Coast border na your oil potential to be our best or exploration bia no potentially no nipa be to me hit oil na one also to be the that is how the picture looks like.
Are we suggesting said there are other untapped parts of Ghana potentially oil apart from the Western Corridor no possibly on the eastern coast and hello Mr. Elimah
right now
I'm a talker.
Yo, it's not me bisa say is it the case potentially we may have hit the western, we may have hit oil in the Western Corridor but there's potentially also oil on the eastern part ayenyan tapping into Krana. Hello Mr. Elimah. All right, stay with us. We seem to have lost connection to Mr. Richard Elimah, natural resources and energy expert. You're better reconnected as soon as possible. In the meantime, let me have a chat with my co-host, still introducing Miss Cindy Brown. Cindy, please introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to, I've already kind of pre-introduced you. I've introduced you as the co-host. You will be helping to handle the show from Studio 2 in Kumasi from today, right? From today and going forward. Please tell our audience who you are in a few lines.
Like he said, I'm hosting from Kumasi, and here in Kumasi, I think I'm the host here. I'm Brown Cindy. That's my full name, Cindy Brown or Brown Cindy. Yes. Okay, so I think some of the shows that I think we've already started. We started with the maiden edition of the daily tip, which we are making it the weekly tip. Yes, and then also the EMA formula. Yes, so we are bringing you this health show and then also the EMA formula every Sunday. So today, for instance, today specifically, we are talking about we are continuing what we started the other time about water. Yes, we are continuing with what we started the other time. So it's now weekly tips. weekly tips. These weekly tips, they are the tips that everybody needs so that they can use in their daily routine as they go to work, as they move about, as they eat, as they drink water, everything that they do. The tips, the common tips, some of the basic tips that they would need to improve their health and then also help their whereabouts everywhere
General
they.
well-being. So speaking of water, Cindy, I saw the midnight edition of the show. Very nice. Um, but speaking of water in general, right? Water is something that a lot of the times we take for granted because it's
Yes.
like, oh, if I'm going to town, I know I can get water to buy. So I go out without thinking about that. And when I go into town, I don't know what water I'm going to get to buy, right? So whatever water I see on the street, I buy that and I drink it. I don't really think about the source of that water. Like if you're walking on the streets, it's thirsty, you say, hey, pure water. You hardly even look at the brand, do you?
Oh, okay. So that is the most important thing right now. The people that buy the water, the sachet water, for instance, I'm sure most people know that for the sachet waters, it has problems. Most of the people know that the sachet waters, they don't really when it comes to safety or when it comes to quality, people usually think is the bottled waters that are so good or that are okay for consumption. Yes, but even with the bottled waters, there are problems with it. And I think last week, I was talking about some of the things that we need to check on. Even these are bottled waters, and most importantly, the things that we need to check. One important thing that we have to check or we need to take note of is the expiry dates on the sachet waters and also the bottles, because most people don't even know that the plastics that contain the water, it has expiry dates, and so these expiry dates on them, it affects the water that you are taking. So if you don't check those things, then that means your health is at stake. Yes.
So do these things really have expiry dates on them? Because I know there are
Yes.
people who have been caught just putting tap water into bags and bagging them. And do they even care about putting expiry dates on these things?
Okay. So with the, I think the with the bottled waters especially, that one in particular, I think I have a bottled water here with me, and so if it showed, I don't know if it shows clearly.
It does.
We have it here. So usually waters, it takes 1 year before the plastics are not or good for consumption, or it's not suitable for water to be contained in it. Yes, but with the sachet waters, it's usually 3 months, 3 months, and then it's not suitable anymore. Yeah. And then with the other plastics that I was talking about, which is the plastics that our food are contained in, um most of the conditions that affect these plastics in terms of. Can I continue? Can I continue, please? Okay, so these bowls that contains the food, there are other conditions apart from the expiry dates. There are other conditions that affect these plastics, especially as heat. Yes, the thermal degradation. So these plastics that I was talking about, it has two chemicals which are endocrine disruptors that affect the plastics. And then the plastic includes the ones that are food are contained in, the ones that contain water. Like everything that we do nowadays, we use plastics. So when there are certain amounts of heat, or when the heat is too, it has let me say a certain amount of heat that when it gets to that plastic or that bowl in which the food is contained, it can leach these chemicals into the food you are eating. At the same time, the bottles that contains the water to us. Yes. So these conditions that I was talking about, these conditions are what cause these chemicals to leach into the water, into the food we take in, into whatever thing is contained in that plastic.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. But so my big question is this: where do most of these water come from? Right? Because in certain places, I know that people would tap like a natural spring source or something to that effect. But you see the water all over the place.
So
where do these bad waters come from?
okay, so
Mostly.
that is one most important thing that we have to check, the source of the water. And mostly the thing is those who produce the water, the bottled waters, the sachet waters, we would say they use a hygienic ways. We are not there. We don't know. They might have used hygienic ways to produce these waters, these bottled waters, these sachet waters, and then so it has no problem. But when it gets to those selling it, those giving it out to us, how they handle it, how they store it, basically how they handle it and how they store it is what is giving us the problems. So it's not really where it's coming from, where the water is being produced and all that. Yes, because we can't say
Well, fair
this
enough, but I still want to know where the water comes from. Because, for instance, if the water comes from tap water, right? I want to know.
So with the tap water, so the particular water that I'm talking about, I was talking about the bottled waters, those who
Okay.
produce, yes, the different kind of, I don't want to mention any name, the
Yes,
different
please.
kind of brands. But with the tap waters, it's we all know that it's pumped through the pipes down there. That pipes that has stayed under there for over, let me say, decades, and then it hasn't been changed. So the heat down there, it gets into this water, and we all know that whilst it's down there are pathogens also adding up to it. There are other chemicals in these plastics. The pipes down there, they are all plastics too. The pipes that the water passes through to get to our homes. Yes. So with these pathogens, these chemicals,
We've been trying really hard to reconnect with Richard Elimah with no success at all. Do apologize. We're still trying hard to reach him. If we don't get him, we'll just have to move on to our second interview of the day. But I really wish we can get him back because I have a few questions that I want his expert advice on.
Radio culture. Transmitting online. Radio culture.
A combination of doomsaw and you can't saying bad internet access. What a thing. We're trying to reach our guests and we're not having any luck at all. We've also been trying to reach Honorable Fiifi Baako to bring you the second interview. It's not connecting. I'm not sure what's going on today, but we still keep trying. But if not, we still have a third interview and we'll bring that in place of the second.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
Blood of the slain will never be in vain. Never. No. I don't want to see no more people dying. Zion Yahweh. Whoa, Zion Yahweh. Whoa, Zion Yahweh. Whoa, Zion Yahweh. Yo, listen, man. My name is Ja, beloved. You can call me Fiifi Baako when the occasion calls for it. You are watching iCulture TV. Keep it locked. iCulture TV, Africa, from African perspective.
Welcome to Tutu Hotel, your ultimate home away from home. Located in the serene town of Ejisu Ichakrum, just off the Jabin Road, we offer you a haven of comfort and luxury. Step into our fully air-conditioned 40 bedrooms where modern elegance meets convenience. Whether you choose our normal, standard, deluxe standard, or executive rooms, each one is equipped with Wi-Fi and DSTV, ensuring that you stay connected and entertained throughout your stay. Indulge your taste buds at our exquisite bar and restaurant, where our skilled chefs prepare a wide range of culinary delight to satisfy every palate. From local delicacies to international favorites, we have something for everyone. Planning a business meeting or a special event? Look no further than our state-of-the-art conference hall. With a capacity to accommodate 80 to 100 people. It is the perfect venue for your corporate gatherings or social celebrations. But that's not all. We proudly boast the largest recreational center in the Ejisu municipality. With a capacity to accommodate up to 2,000 people, it is the ideal location for concerts, weddings, and other grand events. It comes with 4 fully air-conditioned bedrooms and a kitchen as one package. Our luxury cars are also available for rent. Drive like a boss. To experience true hospitality and unmatched comfort, contact us today. Our friendly staff is ready to assist you. You can reach us at 0244 654 458, 0246 505 327, or 0241 418645. You can also email us at info@tucsonhotel@gmail.com. Tucson Hotel, your home away from home.
Alrighty, and we're right back. As I said, we having some difficulty with Richard. Next time we speak with Richard, I think we should really prep him to go into an area where the internet is slightly better than where he lives, because this is the 3rd time, and every single time we have internet connectivity issues with Richard. And he just confirmed for me before the interview that he lives in an area where the connection is not that great. So on weekends when he's at home and we need to reach him, it's not an easy task like that. But we'll try to bring Richard back another day. Let me bring back my co-host Cindy as we prepare to bring you the second interview, which is going to replace the third interview, which is going to replace the second one for right now. We're going to be talking about protest culture, and after that we'll go back. Cindy, we'll go back and talk to you about your, you have other things that you're going to present for us before we go today. But we already have our guests in the waiting room. Let's bring on Ras Aswad in Krabea as we talk about protest culture and protesting for Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. What is that all about? Let's learn something. Let's bring on Ras Aswad in Krabea. Ras, welcome to iCulture TV Radio Culture.
Greetings, beloved. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sound a bit distant, but I can still hear you.
Okay, let me try and come a little closer.
I think that will help. Yes, I.
Okay, is that better?
It's better. It's much better. Yes. All right. So, Ras, tell us. Let's start from here. The protest culture, right? In general, what would you say is protest culture? What is protest culture?
Well, I mean, basically, it is a legal right given to every citizen in these democratic countries. Freedom of expression. When there are any social and political issues that the nation feel needs to be addressed, a right is given under the Constitution. It's just that there are times that you have to notify the police of your engagement for several reasons. And even when you have to notify them, you still have that right to go on the street without even getting a permit, right? But they stick to the permit for many reasons. One of the main reasons is that they have to guide the march towards certain direction to ensure that there is security on the road, because sometimes the motorists can get very agitated and annoyed with the crowd in the street, so they come out merely to provide security for the marchers. They also are there for security in terms of if there's a fight or opposing forces, and also if anyone gets sick on the march, say they faint or they get overtired or whatever the case. That's why sometimes ambulance follow these marches. But it's a legal right given to citizens to express themselves concerning any social and political issues.
Speaking of ambulance and people fainting during protests and all that, have you ever seen an ambulance at a protest in Ghana?
Yes, I've seen it. GMO March, we had police and ambulance were there.
Okay, I see police all the time. Ambulance, it's refreshing to know that they have ambulance there too. That's very refreshing.
Yes, they do. But you don't see it a lot, but in the US you'll find it. You'll find even fire brigade truck will follow the march.
That's right. Okay, so let's bring it home. In Ghana, Aswad, you've lived in Ghana for a really long time. More than some Ghanaians, even, because anybody who's anything less than 25 years or so, probably you know Ghana better than they do, right?
All right.
So let me ask you, how many protests have you been involved in since you've been in Ghana?
I've been involved in a lot. I'm sure I've been in over 30 or 40 marches.
What?
Yes, I'm sure.
40?
Yes, and I'm talking about miles on the road. From Art Center to Nungwa, from Art Center to Teshi, from Art Center to Kanda, from Circle to Art Center. Art Center is usually be a main point that the police try to here. And Obra Spot, when Obra Spot was in Circle, they use that as a landmark. I think it's probably a strategic location to control the march a certain kind of a way.
Yeah.
But those are two main centers that you can get a lot of people to gather there, like a large crowd, without it affecting the traffic too much.
Have you? I will let my co-host come in and ask you a question very soon. So Cindy, start preparing your question. But let me ask you while Cindy's preparing your question, Ras. Have you ever been faced with people protesting against your protest?
Oh yes. I have I've had even a church driver drove his church and hit me on the road. That is one incident. And then there are those who are opposed to some of your activities that are against the present government. The government that is in power, sometimes the opposition, political parties, they don't like some of the slogans, they don't like to see the opposition against their party. So, there can be animosity. That's one of the reasons why the police to be there.
Yeah. Okay. And have you also faced a situation where people I think you hinted at already, but have you also faced a situation where people are like, oh, they're being political, they're being NDC or NPP? Have you ever faced that?
That is common, because what happens is that because they don't understand the social and political issues, when they see that you are actually addressing issues of political nature and social nature, things concerning the economy and so on, they tend to look at it like, it is a partisan issue, not recognizing that it goes beyond party politics. And it can be easily misconstrued that, you are actually siding with one, political party. But having done this over the years and seen party changes, different political party comes into power. We have had the opportunity where we have to face two different governments in power on several occasions. So I guess after a while, I get to understand that it's a little broader than party politics.
And have you? Let me ask you, what are some of the issues that you have protested on since you've been in Ghana? What are the most
Well,
memorable ones? 40 is a lot, so you will definitely not remember all of them. But what are some of the most memorable, iconic ones for you?
Okay, some of the most iconic one is the genetically modified organism when the government decided to impose
the Plant Breeders
GMO.
Bill, right? What do they call it now? I think it has a different name now.
Exactly. And they tried to impose it on the nation without educating the nation. And we found that out just before they did it the next day, because they was going to pass it the next day. And that same day we found out, and we went straight into Parliament and stopped it. We also put an injunction for 1 year. And, you know, the political maneuverism and whatever, they was able to release it. And it has now gotten to the stage where they have decided to come out with the GMO corn and cowpeas. So even with that in court, we had to battle it to ensure that if they are going to go ahead and do that, it must be labeled. And the reason why we enforce the labeling is so that the population would recognize and have a choice whether they want to take it or no. And it also, it would also mess up the market for whoever is behind it in terms of from a commercial standpoint, because once people realize that GMO and the education is out there, they won't buy it, or they'll be very hesitant. So it has minimized, it has marginalized the potential of the market getting, getting great benefits from it. So that is that. Then we have
repackaging though. You don't think, and we see this a lot because that's what I sent for honey, right? I'm like, I live in Texas. Honey is very common here. It's one of the commonest things you can find. But I still wanted Ghana honey, so I sent money to buy me Ghana honey, had it shipped, paid for it, everything. And then when I received the honey, that thing cake in my pantry for like almost a year now.
Wow.
So people repackage things. People would take something. The point I'm making is somebody would take the GMO and put it and say, "No, this," and sell it to you same way. So I see that the victory there, right? That I think that the item, the food sovereignty, would look deeper than that, because the Ghana people themselves will have to be checked sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're gonna do? What we're really planning is to get it out. That was just a process in the meantime to regulate it a certain kind of a way. But ultimately, it must be totally kicked in the country. The use of glyphosate, which also is part of the process of introducing GMO in the system. That chemical that they use for the plants and so on. It's also another dangerous chemical which has been banned in so many countries throughout the world. So it's a combination of different interrelated aspects of that we are fighting at the same time. So aside from the GMO, we also Rastafari community.
Yes. The Chimota school issue, right? I think that really was front and center for you.
Yes, that was one of the biggest, the largest one, because it became very international. And we won that case eventually. The food sovereignty Ghana case of the GMO, we are still in court. Just last week we filed.
Radio culture. Transmitting online.
All right. Fortunately, even before I could say we had lost the link, we already have Ras Aswad back. Ras, please go on.
Yes, I'm saying that the GMO case, we are back. We are going to be back in court very soon. We just filed for an appeal recently.
Okay.
So that is going to be there. We have done some major Palestinian demonstration for years, because the Palestinian struggle is an ongoing struggle for many years.
Yes,
we have done that, and we have also done for the Cuban 6 or Cuban 5 that was arrested in the United States illegally, and we were able to join that international advocacy to help to release them, and I think they're back in Cuba now. We have done, water privatization. Because when they was trying to sell out the water to private companies, we have done a lot of demonstration in support of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for years. Every year we are out on the street, synthesizing and conscientizing the population, because that's what the demonstration is all about. It is mainly about education and information awareness. A lot of people will say bad things about people demonstrating in the street, and it's useless, but it's not true. It's not a factual statement. It creates a lot of education and a lot of information and a lot of awareness. A lot of times we would not know what is happening in Parliament in terms of a bill being passed. That is not in the best interest of the nation. And when you get on the street, then it becomes a popular issue in the society, and people will able to.
And the GMO issue is a classic example of that. Ras, let's zero in on the recent march. Ibrahim Traore and the whole uproar. The whole entire world stood up to march for him, to defend him, to speak for him. And Ghana was no different. You were at the fore of that. Tell us about that. Organizing that, getting it off the ground, all of that. Tell us about that.
Well, the organization of the Traore demonstration on the 30th, not this one that just gone, the one before this on the 30th. It was done in support of the embassy, Burkina embassy, along with the organization that came out in solidarity, because there's a lot of people who are very much in sympathy with what is going on with Burkina Faso and solidarize with it from all over. So it was a combination of various organizations, civil society, political organization, youth organization, women's organization, so many different organizations that came out to support it. And that was the one on 30, which was an international one. That one was significant, very significant, because of the fact that when Trump was there running off his mouth and Langley, Traore supporters turned up at the Trump Plaza, massive demonstration in front of Trump Plaza, and they were quiet. They were nowhere to be found. So it goes to show you how hard the struggle is and how important it is when the people hit the street. When the people hit the street, there's no force and power that can stop them. So you can imagine at Trump Plaza, mass that was there, and they couldn't do anything about it. So this is why it is important to have these demonstrations. The one that went on recently was spearheaded by the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters. They organized and spearheaded that one and invite all the organizations that became part of it. They had over 54 different organizations that was in support of this organization. So it was massive. And the main theme of it was walk with Traore, leave Traore alone. Right? And that was really the main message that was being sent. It was a statement to let the United States of America and France and the West in general realize that if Traore is touched, just like other leaders who have been killed, murdered, and the countries destroyed, if they make any attempt to touch Traore, the world is going to be on fire. The whole world is going to be on fire, and the youth today all over the world have made up their mind clearly that they are not going to sit without serious repercussions to any of these two main countries or any other countries from NATO or the West. Once Traore is attempted to be harmed, they are going to see some serious repercussions. And that message went off very, 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 very clear. The youth are disturbed, and they are very, very not really, I would say not really angry, but they are very resolute and ready to defend Traore with their lives, or they can defend any African country or any African leader that is standing up for righteousness and for sovereignty and for peace. They are ready to defend them with their lives.
Ras, have you heard or have you encountered people equating protest culture with hooliganism? And what's your reaction to that?
Oh well, those are reactionary positions. Those are right wing and reactionary positions who try to denigrate the will of the people to have the right to protest and to call out injustice as they are, right? Because that is a right that's given international law in every countries of the world to have that freedom to express yourself. But they will use that as a pretext to try and curtail and to ban movements of people and to rob them of their freedom and their rights to demonstrate. So it is definitely a negative intervention to prevent
Misrepresentation of it. But we've also seen certain protests that have gone off the wire, and some have turned quite violent and all of that. For good or bad reason.
Well, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually in that case, you see, is that after a constant oppression or oppressive system keep oppressing people, after a while, it gets to a boiling point where the people are just determined and mad, and they just want to vent their anger and their feeling at a system. And especially when they are not fully educated about the issues around the thing, right? Any symbol of that oppressor will be attacked, and any symbol of that oppressor will get the wrath of the people. That do happen from time to time, right? I remember the Arab Spring, it was the same thing. The Arab Spring wasn't organized and had proper leadership. And I mean, the whole place
was a spontaneous reaction from the people.
Leadership. That is why it died out. But it's not going to happen where the African issue is concerned right now, because most of these countries where the youths are rising up, there are strong leadership, political leadership there at the forefront, different organizations leading it with a conscious direction.
But we also see that it's not always the state institutions, instead, in terms of the physical the brick and mortar, if we will, assets that get attacked or whatever. It's not always the government institutions. Sometimes businesses get attacked. Sometimes people take advantage to loot shops and all of that.
Yes. But this is what I'm saying. After generations of oppression, people in poverty never had an opportunity to get a TV, never had an opportunity to get a good city they're living in. Never had much opportunities, basic things that they need, food that they cannot afford because of the wage slavery and the oppression that they are on. Any opportunity that they get to steal. Some don't even have a refrigerator, and they are in 96 degrees heat, and they get an opportunity at that particular time to get a refrigerator or some air conditioned unit. They will take it. So that is just a result of the oppression people have been going on under for generations.
An unintended consequence, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Ras, thank you very much. As we wrap up, let's talk a little more about Ibrahim Traore. What can the whole of Africa do apart from protesting? Of course, protesting, burying your teeth at the enemy and say, hey, listen, don't come close. But beyond that, what do you see as what Africans should do, home and abroad, to defend Traore as a symbol? And I see Traore as a symbol, not even just as a person, but as a symbol, just like you said, as the idea of the leader who is standing up for his people. And we know that every time that happens in Africa, of course, there is the colonial forces that will frame some scheme to try to stop that or to get rid of that movement. What should Africans be looking out for? What should we do to protect Traore and his like?
I think the first thing we have to do is extend our full maximum solidarity with what is happening there and follow the example. We need to strengthen the AES, right? Like, for instance, when they came out of ECOWAS and they formed the alliance with these three different states, we have seen the positiveness that came out of it. So it is actually pointing to a direction to show that this is a better way to go. I think all these African governments should emulate what is happening in the AES region. Follow that example. Join the AES and build it up from there, because the ECOWAS has shown that it cannot be trusted, right? Too much treachery in that organization, too much sellout and all of that. So it's very important to empower what is happening in Burkina Faso by becoming a part of it. All these African leaders should be looking to become a member of the AES and to have that revolution spread from one African state to another by following those basic principles and example of sovereignty. That is the only way out.
If I hear you right, Ras, you're calling for basically the inactivation of the ECOWAS to be replaced by the AES?
Yes, exactly. Those established principles and guidelines is what is making the revolution what it is today, and giving it its sovereignty. And all these African countries need to go in that same direction. We're talking about a continental revolution spreading from one African country to another. That is what needs to happen.
All right. Ras Aswad in Krabea, thank you very much for your time today. As you know, we'll be checking in with you from time to time to get more of your insights. We do appreciate your time and your insights today, Ras. Thank you very much.
You're always welcome, my brother. Give thanks.
Every time. One love.
One.
Ras Aswad in Krabea, activist and a man who knows almost everything there is to know about protest culture, bringing us the first in a series of our discussions on protest culture. You can also catch Ras Aswad in Krabea moderating our new show, Kindred. Kindred comes to you the last Friday of every month. Kindred comes to you, and you can catch Ras Aswad in Krabea on that show as well. And it looks like in a very short while we can connect to the Honorable Fiifi Baako to bring you the interview on the Tutu Kese Festival. Please stick and stay. In a very short while, we will be bringing you that interview. We will be right back.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
All right, so we are right back, and it looks like we are now going to be able, as I said, to connect with the Honorable Fiifi Baako to speak about the Tutu Kese Festival. Honorable, if you're available, please sit in a spot where we will have the light entering the camera rather than, that's a much better pose. That's much better. All right, so let's bring on Honorable Fiifi Baako. He has his name as Echo Baako, but that's because he is with his brother Echo Baako, whose camera I believe he's using for now. And full disclosure, Honorable Fiifi Baako is a brother of mine. Okay, the disclosure, journalistic ethic. Let's go straight and go speak with Honorable Fiifi Baako about the Tutu Kese Festival. Honorable Timenka.
Radio culture. Radio culture. Radio culture. Radio culture. Radio culture.
Okay, yeah, Musa camera was frozen. Try to say being on the back. As soon as we get him back, we will bring him on. And I see says Cindy is also back in the room. We'll bring Cindy on to help with the interview as well. Echo, please, if you can hear me, reset the camera so we can speak with Honorable Fiifi Baako when he's ready. In the meantime, yes, as you said, we have Cindy back on. Cindy, so first interview I said no. Me myself, I don't know too much about it, so we have to help me out with this. Okay, we'll do it together. And just so you know, this platform, any language that people understand is welcome. I mean, within Ghana and the African continent, right? So basically speaking, as long as we are communicating. I'm trying to say there's no language barrier here. We can always go, we can go whichever direction the spirit directs when it comes to asking and responding to questions and all of that. With that said, Assin Foso, Unim Assin Foso, Cindy. What is going on? Connectivity. You're kind of saying Sam George. All right. Connectivity a major issue, a major issue. We're trying to have a seamless show. Everything is planned, everything is lined up, and then when the time comes, internet connectivity comes and determines how your show goes. It's very frustrating, to say the very least. But we're trying to get Honorable Fiifi Baako back on the line so we can talk about the Tutu Kese Festival. If we're not able to connect with him on camera, we will try to get him on audio.
Let's do something bad. I'm gonna dance with you. Let's do something bad. And I go pour it on you. Let's do something bad. And I go rush on you. Let's do something bad. Let's do something bad. I want to touch your back, scar. Let's do something bad. See, we already crossed the line. Baby, my weekend crush. Dada, they won't check our pass. Why? One weekend crush. Dada, they won't check our pass. Baby, I go see you in Ghana. Baby, don't you wanna blow my vuvuzela? Baby, see you wanna be a singer. Tackle with the tiwa like Shingard. Oh, baby, I will see you in Ghana. Baby, don't you wanna blow my vuvuzela? Baby, see you wanna be a singer. Tackle like a stiwa with your Shingard. Let's do something bad, baby. I wanna dance with you. Let's do something bad, baby. And I go pour it on you. Let's do something bad, baby. And I go rush on you. Let's do something bad, baby. I wanna rock with you, baby. Let's do something bad. I want to touch your back. Let's do something bad. I want to touch your back. Body, go. Who say body, go? Body, go. Baby, no, who say body, go? Let's do something bad.
Let's do something bad. Make it do like gangsters. Let's do something bad. Let's get drunk and let's pay the fine. Baby, it's a big time clash. God, I'm feeling for a fast car. You my big time catch. Baby, let's do something bad. Baby, I wanna rock with you. Let's do something bad. Baby, and I'm gonna pour it on you. Let's do something bad. Baby, I wanna dance with you. Let's do something bad. Baby, I wanna rock with you. Let's do something bad. I wanna dance with you. Let's do something bad. And I'm gonna pour it on you. Let's do something bad. And I'm gonna rush on you. Let's do something bad. Baby.
Yeah, we much less a free 2019 yenya a fango production of course the highest in our history. 72 million barrels no. Bano free 2019 banyina no. Na esote 2020 esote 2021 esote 2022 esote 2023 esote na 2024 so no esote. The 2024 figure no 48 million barrels from 72 million barrels to 48 million barrels. And no say bibi nkoyi a say hwe ne yeka. Na de ama na yehu ni say aban sika nyina free fango mu nyina ejina production level no so. So production kosora aban so sika sem ekonanim.
Okay, so we are lucky to have back Richard Elimah Bluzino at the beginning of the show, no, in the first interview. We are fortunate to have him back, and we're going to continue the discussion where we left it off. Richard, thank you very much and welcome back.
Thank you.
Yo, now okay, now me bisa before I answer question, now me bisa ni say, yenya oil no bianim say it's mostly in the western part, right? But from what you are saying, let's just say there's potentially parts be a yenyan tape yakra. Is it possible say there were other parts of Ghana, your oil or yenya kran tape?
Oh yes. Currently we have four basins. Baako and the western region I hear no. And your Voltaian basin and a Kita basin. And say what is Kita or no oil, but no offshore and onshore. Inti oil ni puso ewo assassin inti GMPC for na siano
in commercial quantities.
But I just say
in commercial quantities.
Yes, in commercial quantity. Yes.
Oh.
Inti GMPC for na in terms of financial and technical na etusa oil no. And apart from that no other inland basins are but what I'm hearing is somewhere around the middle belt Nankasan Sokrano, oil put deposits were I am fine Sakrankai. It's potential aka sika the technical acumen binya na yede atapusa resources no.
Na yakase sika say or mind the and can ya then say who ya demand too much say binya you can't say Ska Edia Bibisa and say the sea and said this is what we want to do.
On the face of it, Lydia Sana, when you're a buyer of a developing country, on one hand, educational sector health sector now would be a very risky enterprise, oil business. I'm saying do baby, I buy beer, no, correct. the training say we to me exploration about up to $300 million, $500 million. Now we possible. To me say sika quadrillion baby officer oil no. Really about bibia baby no way. Imagine say as a journalist, a baby people seem say I buy this $300 million and $500 million. I could acquire exploration, but how will the Ghanaian media even interpret it?
Great point.
I buy about my neck. 18 a year and pay the brain. I buy no a professor well-established oil companies and a bit disadvantage. Now the disadvantage there, so they say, Uma will be betua. On only a home for so be brain, one casas or mine. The whole problem na you see. At the moment, no GMP in a year on mine oil company, almost 2 oil no on behalf of a mine. Now, Akase, Ibenya Sikapa, it be GMP. No more so to me around shoulders with the oil giants in the world. And only at the Aka.
Interesting. Now, again, say you funnel oil, you say gold, for instance, a different arrangement with or more invested in mining, no, from the from more babe drill oil nana.
Oh, they're almost the same. I mean, almost the same. Essentially, a more of a tax-based system. You say, Mumrabitu, yeah, the physical group, no Mumrabitu. It means it's almost a carry risk, no. To carry risk, no, so I say you be demanding through one also. It every oil, be according to the Petroleum Exploration and the Production Act, no. Ghana, Chefa, will pay 10% pay. Yeah, Chefa oil business, be 10% pay. And only a free carried interest, and only in Jihoka, the chair, 10% Mudini. Now, the Akano Eomadia. A biono, a taxium, Omutia corporate tax, I think this is 35% or so. No material royalty, no material surface rental, a few other taxes. 80, but baby, Sikawan Casano, interest, our business, and the Bemosika. But also soon the empathy this Kabirano. We are satisfied with only the 10% now on the chain, so but say you near prepare there and come my 10% now. I was say a pre-nank here to additional shares and so count. It to me to additional shares be extra 10 and 15% become one. Now your shareholding now be 25%. And no you're quite significant to say you left oil now. Yeah, woman, you been your sika chain, see at the year.
Now, say, resource, that's okay, so being to normal 10%. It sounds plain stupid to me, to be honest with you, because I say, mentia say, Mawofufu, me baby, what was I meet me banchi, me body, me bibia, but meet me wofufu no. Branabe wofufu ni mame, wofufu ni wia, ebi awo ban wankasa the word no woman neighbor. Enti wofufu ni wia, fa no ne nkwani ya na twa kakra, kontomo abeye 5. It's ridiculous, isn't it, Richard? Hello?
The whole thing, no, capital intensive.
But still.
Natural resource near Wodia.
But still.
Yes, there's no doubt about it.
Exactly. But maybe some make her do say, and I'm sure you take the same position with me, but of course, you being the expert now, you're trying to explain the reality rather than wishful thinking for people like me, right? Because honestly, me what good na say na say 10% per now. Okay, let me phrase the question like this. Is it possible for a government or for the government to make it policy say every me for music and shame it said they are but there will be no automatically me will be 30% wom yen can a 10% na say more 30% shares because I didn't a heritage Anna they make an too much on the wishful thinking side.
Oh, not really. Our industry best practices. They tend to say oil no a punasia. It is of no value. At the end of no value no a wodia. Say valuable to you nka wetu ade da. But it says only one candian in the house. It is a coffee be say Fausika Bra nebetukwa. Nipano obey the risk involved. And then I match them say, a bet me investor, waka and say, oh, oil. Now we're mobilizing a couple Bisia or a British bank B or couple Bisia by $500 million. Now we're bet to now well near dry. At that point, who are resource near Odiano, almost academy. Or no now bonica. That is a risk involved. It's also a risk in Tino. And investors on the Umsikabi Remono, they will usually make sure say Omoben negotiate a higher stake for themselves. Now, almost to me, they cover almost risk. That is one. Number two, the Amaya Omo benefit from Omo natural resources in Ano. They directly participated in the industry. Yeah, we have become too lazy and too risk averse. It room. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So Ghana per se maximum benefit from the oil. I buy and copesika. Now resource GMPC. No participate actively. One of the world's crown. Now Mankasa operating as Ghana by all. It says GMPC a wholly government-owned entity. It is infrastructure being Ghana by all. But yet to me trust in fire and say them reform. Now you can see an attractive investor. And no investor will even come. They won't even come in the first place. They won't come. Other countries are far more better risk.
So that's what's happening.
To answer your question directly, you near brainy maximum benefit from oil. Let us actively participate in the industry.
I see. Now, Richard, Matiso said, it's been said, in fact, President Mahama even said this at some point, say, the world is kind of shifting away from oil, right? At some point, maybe if not immediately or if not soon, at some point, oil will not be as valuable anymore. The world is shifting from oil to other sources of energy, some more renewable, some maybe not so much. But yen to oil, do we risk a point oil no krabea worthless, yen to but nobody wants it anymore? Is that also part of the reason why we are settling for 10%?
No, not really. Ceciano, yes, I agree with you. We are moving towards the renewables. I want to see an obie niche. And to swap your crampona investment. In fact, okay. Watch your brother. Investments, that may be in the video say you are experiencing declining production. Not just declining production, but also declining investment in the oil business. Declining investments, one of the reasons they say companies can normally the non-renewables, the renewables, sorry. I focus on oil nankasano shifted. Too much of the fossil fuel based energies no. And the be also no. Already nankasano yet to me jai fuel use, yet to me jai fossil fuel use. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I can assure you, especially for developing countries like Ghana. I mean, to me, use petrol, you are going to only rely on the renewables. It's not going to happen anytime soon. It be a bit 50, 100 years time. But see idea, we need the fossil fuels to power our development. And that is a fact of the matter. But Enono has nothing to do with the investment. In fact, the world's craze for a renewables cramponuna, I wasn't crying as a mine. Thank I did sikabe ra yankasa oil fields nim. Laya you 2 years, that's Kanye Binyano, Yankasa pocket yard. That is the best strategy also use. There's also unfortunately to say the Mekano. abai bi aba or very risk averse. Hey, me this ke kwa ko remain ya hwe a Ghana for do betwa.
Yeah, because we discuss you're costing financial loss to the state. Interesting. Is this why explorations are not quote unquote publicized at all? So you hate oil, but you never even know that they're exploring. I mean, I'm sure people like you would know when it's happening, but it's never public knowledge until they hit oil. Is this why?
Oh, not really. The exploration is always public. It's always public. I mean, if you are interested, you can go to the Petroleum Commission website. All the various companies are explore for petroleum or Ghana, and it be or more explore for petroleum. All the information is there; it's publicly available. Now, the public exploration. So you are only exploring. What is the big deal? I mean, for as much as Obeba culture say menya oil no.
Yeah.
Obe now so when oil na no na good news no ewo. And yeah, the facts that may explore.
Interesting. My young call back to video no. Now young could see a little more. Maybe a few more questions to ask you based on that. Young could see.
Na so we see on my Ghana yesika samse ne yesi akoye no sisi no ye hwere sika free ye fango to no ma ha adwen kakra eno ntina piak ye recommendation say aban to anamo na nka yempe investors fufuro bi no momra Ghana ye fango to adwumadi no mu na nka omo so emetu fango ni bi omo ba no mbetu a e production be kosoro a isika sam no so no betumi akosoro na aboa oman ni nyina utu fango bi a gas ka ho na gas ni bi ho a eba e wo se wo san de ekohye well no ai free mu bae no na aboa ma epia oil no na fango no ama na aba ebi nso ha oil gas ni bi jaframa ni bi ho nso ha omo de call FPSO no so ekodi dwuma nti de ebeka na omo fanye hwe no na omo hu EPF na yese omo ahye no ne yeka se omo yete se Ghana sebio ehia no we can't afford to say jaframa eba no de bia ye be hye no.
Richard, yanka eno ho asem gas, right? And we know the importance of that in driving our economy and everything. But you're suggesting a lot of it is just flared away, right? And you are saying say gas who's more flare in debiano, it can actually be processed for domestic use.
Yes. Yes. Every oil well be out to Biano. Once you hit petroleum, there's an associated gas, with it. By agreement, any companies no one, for oil no, then they give us the gas. The gas is 100% owned by the government of Ghana. Now the thing is, what do you do with the gas? Sisiano, there were only one gas processing plant for memoir, and we have 3 or so fields that are producing gas in very high quantities. Produce gas now. Kakrano Jubilee, near the core Atuabo, now I could process it. But the Akano Jubilee capacity, Atuabo gas plant facility, no, the capacity need to mean processing all the gas. Now say emotional never will. Last year, 2024, as much as 10% of the gas produced, 10% was flared. 10%. Now, this is a country yenya electricity problems because yenya sikam koto gas and power electric machines I want. So why then do you have to flare the gas and waste it? Why not in a long term? No, so we build a new gas processing plant. Now I utilize the gas now. I'm producing instance here, but not waste. Oh, that is the argument I was trying to make in the video.
Is it possible to attach? Let's say okay, it's part of the policy. Say every oil well beer should come with a processing plant for gas, right? So that maybe as part of the agreement, mobile signing, okay, well, the moment 10% now more kind of, but we are also you also tasked with building us a gas plant along with every single well? And I know it's too much to ask.
No, and you're practicable.
I see.
And you're practicable. Company no oil and your gas.
Okay.
All the arrangements are no being is to drill the oil, sell the oil.
Yeah, but the meme can say, "Woo, bow, so be pen for so." But
it is too much to ask.
Okay, all right. So then, can we do it on our own then?
We want to incur this cost.
I hear you, but can we do it on our own? Let's say okay, we have plans for every single oil well, biano. We are going to build a processing plant along with it to process the oil, the gas that it produces. And I say one per one year too much. One no bet me for 3 or something.
Not necessarily build processing plant for every well. But on my way, no, petroleum industry, I mean, let me give you some statistics. You produce 137,000 barrels of oil a day. Nigeria is producing 1.7 million barrels a day compared to 2. So technically, we don't even have an oil industry in the first place. And so to me, see even three big gas processing plants are. About to be used to oil free all the world.
I see.
It is just a matter of setting up, be strategic. I buy say or new gas processing facility, which is fantastic. Almost we are. So I buy for flows and why the power flows so an additional facility in Kamu. And on the web wire you to utilize the oil. And yes, I did
do they have to be
14%? We fled 14% of our gas. 2024 we fled 10%. It's not a piece of good news we need to be sharing. And we need the gas and we need to work with it.
Do the plants have to be close to the wells, or they can be situated further away and then the gas will be directed to the plant? Do they have to be strategically located near the wells?
No, they don't necessarily have to be close to the well. All you need is to get pipelines that will connect wherever the gas is being produced and then to the facility. That's all.
I see.
At the moment, we are producing the oil or the gas onshore, deep in the ocean. So we've laid some underground pipelines right under the sea, straight to the land, and then onto what's the name? Atwam. And then there's one that connects to the Takoradi gas plant. It's not a processing facility. It's more like a storage plant that distributes the gas that comes from Atwabo to other parts of the country.
So let me ask you, gas, no, one particular type of gas, say the way it's your LPG, no, right? Or what is it? Is it some gas be you're processing it into how we want to use it? And now I say it comes in that original form. How is it like? Is it all LPG? What is it?
You process it to the state you like.
Okay, it's the same gas now, but and not being a processing because LPG, and not being a processing because the digu car.
It be LPG. It to me the big power cars. It to me the big power
engines, street lights,
electric turbine, any other engines near the processing will determine the quality of the gas that you can use.
I see. Richard, okay, earlier something about manpower, right? The having the power, the knowledge and everything to handle our own resources in that way. You think we are anywhere close to that? We have a school of mines, for instance. We have all these resources. Is Ghana really strategically positioning itself to take full charge of its resources?
In terms of human resource, I think Ghana is not faring badly. Even before we discovered oil, we had high quality petrochemical engineers who were working in other parts of Africa.
Not just Africa, Richard. In Australia, right? Mamisha is short story. Australia,
Saudi Arabia,
yes,
everywhere.
Yes. I was in Australia I was in school at the time, and then I had a call from some young guy that I used to mentor, he's like, "Oh, Director, I'm about Shame." And I'm saying, Misha wa for Shame or Hilton Hotel. I say, but you pa, me Misha was San Hilton. Me if I go Hilton Hotel, I go work for there. You know what I'm saying? Or the Hilton Hotel, the mining company had flown him from Ghana to Australia just for an interview and was staying at the Hilton Hotel. You know, so yes, we have. I'm just saying that to buttress a point. And Cindy, get your question ready, please. You have to ask a couple questions to Richard before we wrap up the interview. Okay, so please get your question ready while Richard answers this one. Please go ahead, Richard.
Yeah. So I was saying that you the former Shrike boss, Anna Bosman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know she used to work for an oil company in this country, Gabon?
I see.
Yes, way before we discovered oil, she was working there in the Gabonese oil industry. And I can point to a few other Ghanaians who are working in all over the world, in big time oil, ExxonMobil, Tullow Oil,
yes, here in Texas, for instance, you said Texas here, very oil heavy state, and there are some serious Ghanaians here in the oil sector.
Yeah, qualified Ghanaians working there. If we put our us together, we wouldn't have a problem with the human resource. There are always the engineers there who can help build a very viable Ghanaian-owned and Ghanaian-managed oil industry in Ghana.
Let me ask you about privatization. Is that a smart thing to do? Privatizing natural resources.
Of the oil industry.
Not just oil, but let's say Ghana wants to privatize its gold. Ghana wants not privatization. I mean nationalization, like taking it under the ambit of the nation. No, is that a good idea?
I will personally want the Ghana government. I will personally want Ghana to take over the commanding heights of the economy, to quote General Kutu Champo. I will wish that Ghanaians were at the helm of affairs in our oil industry, in our mining industry, in agriculture, etc., etc., etc. Instead of the current situation where these areas are dominated by foreigners. But I am also very cautious about the way we do things in Ghana when it comes to if we are to nationalize. Let me give you an example. If we decided to nationalize our oil industry, for instance, the question then is, the government will have the onerous responsibility of taking those decisions to place Ghanaians at the helm of affairs. And who are the people who are going to be placed there? Are they not going to be influenced by partisan interests? The way our politics is done in the country makes it very scary to even suggest that we should nationalize our natural resources. Ultimately, we will end up handing over our natural resources to party faithful, to party apparatchiks, and eventually they will become worse than the foreigners we asked to live. So much as I in principle, I believe that Ghanaians should take over. I don't think the systems that currently exist, the political system, the nature of our politics, will make it viable if we ask the government to nationalize our industry. What I think we should be doing is to have a very good blend of Ghanaian ownership and foreign ownership. But then the state facilitating Ghanaian ownership in the industry, being very deliberate and ensuring that Ghanaians owned the commanding heights of the natural resource industry, supporting them financially, supporting them technically, to make sure that they can rub shoulders with the big guys from Australia, Canada, US, and so on. So that is my position on the privatization bit.
I see. Now, as we get ready to wrap up, no, Mami Bisa always says so. If we say, I don't know if you've been following the story in Tanzania, for instance, under Magufuli, for instance, who practically boxed the mining companies into making a deal that worked for him, right? Renegotiating, basically, the terms. Is that a way to go? Do you think that Ghana is about time that we start renegotiating terms with some of these companies?
It's long overdue. It's long overdue. We had this minerals and mining law in 1986 under the direction of the IMF World Bank. At the time, Ghana was not an attractive destination for mining investment. Why? Because there were frequent military coups, so political instability. The economy was in tatters, so no investor found us attractive to come in. So we had to make the law so generous and so attractive in order to bring in the foreign investors. Fast forward 2006, 20 years later, President Kufuor passes a new mining law, and he eventually transports everything from that old law into the new law, still maintaining the 10% free carried interest for Ghana and all that, But as of 2006, we had a very stable political environment. We had a very stable economic environment. So what then was the justification for still giving very, very, insane incentives to these foreigners? I don't think it makes sense. And till date, it's almost 20 years now. Next year will be 20 years since we passed that law. Till date, we are still giving incentives. I mean, Go First Ghana, Newmont Ghana, and then Anglo Gold Ashanti. They all have stability agreements with government where they enjoy a largesse from the state. Why should the state of Ghana subsidize the operations? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I believe that it is time to go to the drawing board and renegotiate the deals. It is possible. When we signed the Newmont deal, we gave away our free carried interest. I can't almost say, you almost see it. Krabea was also 10%. Yes, you're But about 9 years later, 2015, President, in fact, it started in 2011. President Mills set up a committee headed by Professor Akila Pasoya. They started reviewing the mining agreements, and that's what led to Newmont Ghana reinstating the 10% free carried interest that we gave away, and so on. So it is possible. The government can always call them, though it's an agreement, we can have a mutual kind of agreement. Tell them that, looking at the state of the Ghanaian economy, we cannot afford to be subsidizing operations all the time. So kindly let us look at ways of raising the taxes so that you pay more. Now gold price is at an all-time high, $3,300, $3,400 an ounce. It has never happened before. It has never happened. At the time Anglo Gold was coming in 2019, they used an estimated gold price to do when they were doing the estimates. They said gold price would be at $1,500 an ounce. Now it is $3,400.
I see.
Now, is the state of Ghana benefiting from this windfall? Nothing. We are getting zero from this windfall. Because they keep telling you, yes, the price has gone up, but our cost has also gone up, which is not true. Which is absolutely not true. So, yes, I totally agree with you. It is time for us to sit at the negotiating table and then review all these agreements, all the stability agreements that we have with these companies. I'm sure they will see reason. There's no way they'll run away from the country. They will still see reason.
I see. Richard, thank you so much. Now, Mami Bisao, gold bar, how many ounces?
Unless I check.
Okay. Now that's on the light side though, because he will be here $5 million. Sadi pardon so our gold bars be brave. Tina me calculate I say ebeso naka yakwa tombe ne dia. Gold bars. Let me ask you, how can I even have an interview with you without speaking about Galamsey? Do you see it? Let's wrap up the interview with that. Do you see any change in terms of even the government's body language to fight the menace, in terms of actual results being achieved? Do you see any change from the past 6 months or so, 5 months?
Unfortunately, no. I think it's been more of the same. Just a lot more talk and very little action. But I mean, I always say that the government is just about 4 or 5 months. Yeah, about getting to 5 months old. So let's give them that space and see what will happen.
I hear you, Richard Elimah, energy and natural resources expert. Oh, and I was also going to ask you, please, bear with me. PIAC. Tell us about PIAC.
PIAC is a statutory citizen-led body established under the Petroleum Revenue Management Act. The reason why we set up PIAC was we look at the mineral sector, especially gold. We've mined gold for hundreds of years and there's nothing to show. Now we discovered oil 2007. We were passing the law in 2011. Then CSO said, look, why don't we get an independent body that will monitor the utilization of the revenues that we are going to get from our petroleum? Now, in setting up the body, we were mindful of getting a body that is totally independent from government, but all the same receives its funding from the Ministry of Finance. So that is how comes Section 51 of the law created PIAC, Public Interest and Accountability Committee. So it's a 13-member committee, and then all the 13 members represent constituent bodies. So we have the Christian Council, we have the Muslim groups, we have the National House of Chiefs, we have the Association of Queen Mothers, we have the TUC, we have the Ghana Journalists Association, we have the Ghana Bar Association, we have the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Association of Ghana Industries, etc., etc., etc. All these bodies form PIAC. So there's no single government representative on PIAC. It's a totally non-political group that is mandated to have an oversight over our petroleum industry.
Where does it draw its membership from?
Oh, the constituent bodies elect their own members to come and serve on PIAC.
Okay. Okay. All right. I see. We'll speak to you a lot more about PIAC later on. But I think you guys are doing an amazing work. Put more energy and put more, you kind of saying, pressure on the government to renegotiate the contracts. It's very important. Thank you very much, Richard Elimah. We really appreciate your time today, as always. And we hope to speak to you sometime again soon and benefit more from your insights. Thank you very much.
Right, move.
All right, bye.
Radio culture.
All right, Richard Elimah, energy and natural resources expert. Let's go straight into it, being as the time is fast. Being as the time is fast spent, let's go straight into it and go bring our reporters into the studio to wrap up the show. And once more, I'm going to bring Cindy on. I don't know why every time we ask Cindy to get her question ready, she just pops off. I don't know if that's, I don't know what's going on with that. But she's back on with me, Cindy Brown. And let's also bring our reporter, Justice Mafo, for today's report. Justice, what's going on?
Said Udru Asante Bantemua Kinzuba Obojuba pa Kinzuba Kumase Mayo. Baby Alba Bia Kinzuba. Na Abano aye se Mo Hormote Alumiyazo Anamonte say Alumi.
Yetin or himfa.
Baby say you condemn, so condemn no. Sa business no obo se ade omoba behwe normal regulate na eku a ene KMA aye aka omontom agba no omo pese omo regulate sa scrap dealing no Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Corporation omo ne KMA aka obutra bom se sa scrap business no ade omoba be regulate na Deputy Chief Executive Officer Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Corporation Opon Ponsa na Okasa di chire mu te obehwe se aban be so na sene se de be yom bit regulate na obo moton condemn no na no yete se adwumtini gospel singer brother Sabese condemn ansa na oba be musician nti sa condemn for ni nyina omo hwe se omo regulate na omo duru obo nam kwa mu a police fo antata obo se omo akọ wi ankrofo na de enu ti no obosre se KMA abankra chepeni oda no Kinzuba onhwe na sa ehihye enti emeremu ero ti say the newsroom ay kradwa ombo first interview no emfama ye obra na opomponsa na ode to just say regulations no yade a ebitimi aboa.
Right move.
Newsroom.
Radio
di dwuma na yɛbɛtumi de adwuma a ɔsɛ yɛtumi ɛhwɛ kwan a yɛbɛfa so process gas no
mu bebree nim sɛ ɛyɛ adeɛ a yɛde boa man no.
Newsroom, you have to be a lot more alert, okay? We can't do that. You have to be alert.
Scraps ne. And say, Okoto iron rod na ye munu na wani agye ho a. No say scrap dealer na be buy. The number of people are saying juma we afford more Ghana. Ne kwan omunye sika de hwe omumma. Saa workers no omunye ni nyina se ko munyina be gu aban so a enka ban timi employer. Inti yentra ye buta ye se abaya ma yen kwan se yen hwe se da djuma ebe yeye ndi se da djuma na ho adjuma na yeye dia na wona o de raw materials se ba no so esese e de kan ye main aim ni se betu iron ore no bo na e chefo ye de ye na de no but as I say ye ka se Ghana yintimintu yentu ye no the only place yenye bi ye friend say scrap dealers. The next can say a no mushia, na show muhaw. Quite benny bit me and fast war, or would near make quite yensi. Sometimes, Omodi iron a you crowd more form car. Police evacuating genome claim fees or my na yatete or money yama. A bio or momoton or musisi or munim say your international price of scrap to say the gold near ye tiano. Said the gold ne cocoa nuti and san sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah, na Kumasi Mayor so ono ne Public Interest and Accountability Committee PIAC ono so e de ne ntamako ekobo omo ntamu a omo se crude oil ayi tu Ghana ha no omo behwe se ebekoso yie pa na according to the committee na Owura Richard Elimah oye member of the committee no obo se eyade a decline yie pa in 2024 na omo hwe production a drop from a high of 71.44 million barrels 2019 no na etimi drop here about be drew 48.25 million barrels kura na Public Interest and Accountability Committee yubaku a ehye aban a independent statutory body a omo establish under the Petroleum Revenue Management Act PRMA to promote transparency and accountability said Richard Elimah kan no said the Ghana Petroleum Revenue so ebetime gina na naso yie pa na yen kan kwa chire kura na yedi ka bo videos ni ama yetiefo ne ahwefo ahwebi na ka kubi agene kwakuo dum ebi ana afi na obi so ba wabedru YouTube a oba behwe video no yembo video no said Owura Richard Elimah or member of the committee osi chire din sem mu fae newsroom interview 2
akyerɛ sɛ free 2019 a yenya fango production cost the highest in our history 72 million barrels no eba no free 2019 eba nyina no na esote 2020 esote 2021 esote 2022 esote 2023 esote na 2024 so no esote the 2024 figure no 48 million barrels from 72 million barrels to 48 million barrels. And no chira say bibi nkoyi a o say hwe ne yeka. Na de ama na ye hu ni say aban sika nyina free fango mu nyina ejina production level no so. So production kosoro a aban so sikasem ekonanim. Production no esote a aban sikasem no so no esote. Na say o hwe sisi oman Ghana ye sikasem se ne esi akoye no sisia no ye hwere sika free ye fango to no ma ha dwen kakra eno ntina piak ye recommendation say aban to anamo na nka ye mpe investors fufuro bi no momra Ghana ye fango to adwumadi no mu
okay
Enti no we are Richard and I telling kind.
Okay, yo, that's a PBB or hope you wanna.
I think the one that's the bro table. Krabea and then also still now clean up exercise. That is so be a store. It just a pharmacy shops on Kwan a bit to be a BBNA or Bomotun Toniane or Monkwan a bit to me a diga crudum. And to be so we see crudum, the better from Biano. You buy subscribers and followers in your answer so on the echo.
Yo, you better was CP. Now, me wa question back kuma with star scrap dealers at there no. Ashanti region in Kwa and Zuba, Zuba cry a mayor of Kumasi, right? Not even Ashanti region. And what's his input there? Or organize your more or ye then put in or ya momo.
Oh, sir, scrap dealers. I am not here for a tata. So I'm going to be more fancy a doom and potamo. I am not here for a tata.
Okay.
Ain't you know, or no, that or you come as a mayor, Nedia. I do bit to many gas and Akasa
for more raw materials no, through the city.
Makes me did scraps, no, at me pass it through and this had a hand in Omuhian support. Said a bear more regulate here. Who say scrap dealer biana mo unko tata no.
I see. Yo, Cindy, who question ma justice and son wako?
Okay. No, they now kind of oil production. Then and I'm facing me with one question.
Go ahead. I think say you can still ask the question regardless. Go ahead.
Okay, so with oil production, and I'm facing maybe say I hear from newsroom and from Mr. Elimah. No, say but first barrels buy and those barrels na buy and contain oil na a produce ya hanet say inti so na say na nema eda so from measures be na putting in place sebeya sa numbers na so because I say the higher the production no and then the government need to mean ska ema a poor country.
That's right.
It say and say so then what measures are they putting in place to do this? The second thing I want to say a suggestion and they say there was this economist Professor Bobkin now or Kasafa the private sectors or suggested sector government Emma private sectors in a chance no interest or
Go ahead.
Yes, that it for you involve the private sectors. I was say be brave I think say very good because omo that me can say tools in niema be bra betimi dia boa. They are very efficient. And more efficiency na was true no. Government in my private sectors no intake more of salary no. Na niema ntimi improving yet to say bia or be more my shareholders. There be a government in Israel back on yes, I be more my shareholders, but put you more in place now money take charge of and when you say people from outside I'm more a best officer issue na mine. They got
Great
private
point.
sectors na kasabe to me. I sani manning in amayen. Which
Great
I
point.
think yes.
Great point. Sir Richard made that point as well. He also mentioned say he made exactly the point you made. And then he also emphasized, say, we would need more investors to come in and drill more of the oil because it looks like we have the oil sitting there, but it's a very capital intensive business, right? Right? So they would need somebody who would be ready to take the risk in case they don't find anything and not moka. Because say $300 million to go and drill one hole. No my baba so you could drill and cry wom. Minjin this Ghana for before that easy. Or make us a buying diska you know. So it's a very nuanced discussion, but we got a lot from Mr. Elimah, and we'll definitely bring him back. Questions like this, and we'll bring him back to have him throw more light on. So thank you for that question. Justice, anything else before we wrap up? Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm sorry, you're muted. Hold on. Please go ahead.
No, Richard Elimah no expert. You bit me a detective say, oh, sa Kese say na drew barrels no I drop your drew say na government no led by the Lands and Natural Resource Ministry no. So atiki bold steps be because they say no okay sa committee no lack fans no press conference no no NGO bi na sponsor media for kroma nye ska ntri ka you see 2025 we nye ska bia budget budget nko ho enu nti no appeal to the government na take adequate measures in place nti de nhye da ni nye decisive decision nye decision making body said de ba omi aka no advisory body advisory body nye decision making body aha advisory body it hu Lands and Natural Resource Ministry no so apɛ ho ne pomasi bre sanity.
I see. Yo, Justice. You better CP. Na send our kind no mamponhene eye ne so ya patropi but modi na di my updates be bia my asante.
Okay.
Yo, yeah, that's CP.
Radio culture.
All right, as we wrap up the show, no.
Radio culture. Transmitting online.
All right, as we wrap up the show, let me give that honor to my co-host, who hopefully from next week will be in the studio to co-host from there, from Studio 2. I was hoping to see Synergy. I thought I saw Synergy come on at some point. Is he still here? Because we still have show-based before we wrap up. And I would actually have loved for Cindy and Synergy to handle this together. Is Synergy still here? I see him in the green room, but I don't see his camera connected. I don't think he's here, so we'll wrap it up. Okay, Cindy, Yankwe, wrapping up near my na Yanko.
Okay, and see, I think with the daily tips, which is another segment for today, time is already spent. Into me, in fact, much time, biasa. I'm using just I think 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so and then, like yesterday I said, I think I'll switch to English.
Feel free.
Is that okay?
Feel free.
Okay. So with the endocrine disruptors that I was talking about, these endocrine disruptors, hold on, please.
Sure.
Radio culture. Radio culture. Right, move. Radio culture. Radio culture. Radio culture. GH reggae dance. Radio culture. Okay. Culture. Radio 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 culture. Transmitting online.
Okay, Cindy, let's go.
Okay. So sorry for the break. So just like I was saying, these endocrine disrupting effects that I was talking about. sorry, these endocrine disruptors that I was talking about, it's mostly related to, when we say the endocrine system, it's mostly related to the hormone responsible for our sexual and reproductive health. Yes, so when we get the female, or we talk about the female, their reproductive or their sexual health, that is their menstrual flow, their breast development, even having a curvy body, having a softer skin, all the things related to your reproductive, your sexual health. This is the hormone, this endocrine that I'm talking about. The endocrine system has or comprise or is made up of those things. And these chemicals in the plastics that I was talking about, it's the main target. That's the most things they target. And that is why the waters that we take in, we have to be careful, because someone would be there and be suffering from problems with their breast, having a cancer, or let me see something like that, or have an infection with the private parts, can also have a problem with the skin. Yes, and then my think is coming from the food he or she eats, or is coming from something else. But the person might forget that the water that she is taking in is the one affecting all these problems, or let me say causing all these problems in the system. Yes, so these bisphenol A in the plastics, that is mostly the role it plays. It interferes with the hormonal balance in the system, and that is why someone would be there and be suffering from type 2 diabetes, would be suffering from breast cancer and all these things. So if these things that I am talking about, these diseases, these disorders, is coming from the water we are taking in, then there is a need for us to watch or examine or take very good care of the water that we are taking in or using for our foods. Yes, so I think I have new things that I would want to share, but time is fast spent, so I want to take it to next week so that I
All
can
right.
properly
Okay.
arrange
So
them.
what should we expect on the second edition of the show? In the first edition, you discussed
Okay,
water,
so
and I think Sesani Ebeyeno, right? When you put out the show in the course of the week, and then we bring
okay,
you on the live stream, to break it down for us, to give us a little more details, so
so
that
there
if
are
anybody watches the show and they have questions, they can send
okay,
it, and then we can ask you to expatiate on the live stream now. So next week, what are we looking at?
okay, so we are still on water. There are a lot to say about water.
Mhm.
Yes, there are a lot to
Okay.
say about water. Some people don't even know the cup of water or the amount of water they have to consume a day, which can help their body function well. And then we have to discuss this. And then those people that wait to get thirsty before they take in their water, those people too, they need certain tips or they need certain advice so that they, and then people would want to know how they are going to make this possible, how they are even going to treat this water and then make it safe or suitable for drinking, how they are going to adapt to this habit of taking water regularly to bring or to help with the rehydration of the system. So we are going to discuss these things and then even go forward to look at the kinds of food that some people have to watch before they buy or they take in. Yes, because all these things they affect our health. So the kind of things you have to look up at or check on the things that we buy. When you are buying, let me say, a cereal, you are buying a particular drink, there are certain things that you have to check before you make that choice. So we are going to discuss all of these things and then also give options. If you don't like taking in much water, there are other options that we can also give to you. Some people they like sugary things a lot. Instead of taking water, maybe because it's tasteless, you can't be taking it so many times. We can give you other options as well, so that you don't avoid taking water that would cause your body to be dehydrated. Yes. So some of these things we'll be looking at them and many more the next time that we meet.
Fantastic, Cindy Brown. Thank you very much. And that's how we draw the curtain down on today's show. Next week, God willing, as we said. In fact, it's this week because today is Sunday, right? So catch Cindy on her show, Weekly Tips, on GH News Now, iCulture TV, and it will also stream live on Radio Culture. Now, on the weekend, Cindy will also help me to co-host the show from Studio 2 in Kumasi. Thank you very much, Cindy Brown, and we'll see you next week, God willing.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay, people. So this is where, as I said, we bring the curtain down on the show. Thank you very much for joining us for today. My name is Kese Baako. I come in peace. I come not to please, as I always love to say. We'll see you next week, God willing, with another version of the show. In the meantime, let's exit the show with this wonderful piece of music coming from Commander Messiah. He calls this one Zion Train. Bye.
Yo, Ras.
Yeah, my brother.
It's time to go back home.
Same.
It's time to go back home.
Yes, see? And all the stinks, that happiness. Zion Train is coming, jumping.
It's been a long time.
See.
This is your dum dum, you know. Have to go home. It's time to go. It's time.
Oh, my people are balling. Come on, yeah. Why, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Oh, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Watch out. In the gully when me live, me see me people, them a ball, Mr. Big Man, Lord, them not care. It's a pity when me see the ghetto youth, them a cry, Mr. Big Man, Lord, them not care. Yeah, the youths, them balling. Why, yo? Yes, it's time. I and I got to move. Yes, my people crying. Oh, Lord. Yes, in Malata. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. In Nima, Shukura, Mamobi. Why, yeah. Take a look, my people in Medina. Oh, them crying. Why, Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Oh, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Watch out, my people are balling. Pure separation upon the country. Mr. Big Man, Lord, them not care. Why, check out the ghetto. Why, my people are balling. Poor people, them striving. Take a look around the ghetto. My people are crying. In Shita. Take a look around the ghetto. My people are striving. In Munshi. But Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Oh, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Cause Zion Train is coming. Yes, it's time. My people want to go. Yes, to where they belong, yeah. Yes, in Addis Ababa. Down in Ethiopia. I want to go. We want to go, yo. Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Oh, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Zion Train is coming. Oh, yeah. Nigeria, jumping on the train. Ghana, jumping on the train. Zimbabwe, jumping on the train. Liberia, jumping on the train. Sierra Leone, jumping on the train. Guinea, jumping on the train. Gambia, jumping on the train. The whole of Africa, jumping on the train. Zion Train is coming. Jumping on the train, yeah. Zion Train is coming.